Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for taking the time to get on tonight. I really appreciate it. Hope everybody's safe and somewhat enjoying themselves being at home. But I just want to say welcome. I'm so glad you're here. My name is Diane Nelson, and I am the CEO for the Girl Scouts of Eastern Iowa and Western Illinois. And I'm just so thankful for taking the time to join us this evening. We just want to bring you all together, and we just want to do an update on how things have been going with the Girl Scouts, what we've been doing, and how we've been dealing with this COVID-19, which has really changed our work. So I'm glad you took the time to sit back, relax, and just really enjoy the next half an hour, 45 minutes. There's an opportunity for you in the chat room if you have any questions. We would love to hear them. Before we jump into a lot of the big subjects tonight, I want you to look at that little word art that's on the board right now. Dedication, passion, caring, busy, leadership, commitment. I mean, these are words all about you guys, whether you're on this line, whether you're a parent or a leader or a donor or just a longtime supporter of Girl Scouts. This is all about you, and we appreciate everything you've been doing for Girl Scouts. We appreciate your dedication, and I'm going to tell you right now, we wouldn't exist without you. So thank you so much for being part of our organization. Also, as I mentioned earlier, the chat box, if you could just go ahead real quick and just jump on and let us know what your role is in Girl Scouts. Are you a parent? Are you a leader? Are you a service unit director? Just someone who just loves Girl Scouts? Go ahead and just type it in so we kind of get a feeling of who's actually online tonight. So I'll give you just a couple seconds to do that. Okay, cool. Cool. We got all walks there, don't we, Claudia? Okay, so thank you for doing that. So the next thing I wanted to show you is that, as I said earlier, how appreciative we are at the Girl Scout Council for everything that our volunteers do to support our Girl Scout organization. So if you go to the next slide, that is our staff at Eastern Iowa and Western Illinois. We had a staff meeting, a weekly staff meeting, a Zoom meeting, and we all made signs. I don't know if you can see it very close, but it's tons of signs that say things like this. Thank you, we love you, we appreciate you. So we all made signs and put them together to share them with you tonight to let you know how much we appreciate you. Tonight, we just wanted to update you on some things that are happening with the Girl Scouts of Eastern Iowa and Western Illinois and how we're weathering this storm with the COVID-19. So a couple cool things to get us started. So just during the last month, our community engagement managers have been really reaching out to our Girl Scout troops. And we're hearing more and more amazing things that our girls are doing while social distancing. And they're still maintaining connections with their troop and doing really, really cool things. Elizabeth, a troop leader from 1701, she filled some gift bags with supplies for activities that their girls could do at home. And she delivered them to each of the girls' homes to remind them that they are not alone and that we are connected through Girl Scouts. And we are growing together no matter what is happening in the world. And we will always be sisters to Girl Scouts. We also have, there's some more really cool things. So this is with Troop 1594. I've been working on social distancing service projects in Cedar Rapids. She's got some help from her family members in making masks. She made signs, some sidewalk art with her chalk to spread the cheer into her neighborhood. It's so fun to watch all these amazing girls. And we're just so proud of everything that our girls are doing to really support our community. I'm going to have Mara, who's our Vice President of Marketing for the Girl Scouts. Mara's going to even go in and show you a little more really cool things that our girls are doing. So Mara?
Hey guys, thank you so much for having me on tonight. This is actually my first time on gsLive, and I was kind of joking, but I'm really serious. I was a little nervous. I was on the radio this morning and had no worries about that, but I was like, ooh, I gotta practice for gsLive. So thank you guys for having me on, and I appreciate everybody coming out tonight so we can, share with you what awesome things girls are doing. They are just, this is just going to be a small sampling. Nothing's really holding them back. So this is Amanda. She is from Fort Madison, and not only does she have one of the coolest hats I've ever seen, but she is also picking up trash in her community. And I think that's such a cool idea that she brought out with everybody getting outdoors and needing to get out of their houses. She's trying to make sure the world is a better place and that her community is doing well. We also had girls from the service unit in Burlington and Fort Madison make tons of cards for healthcare workers and nursing home resident staff. Our girls, I think, have done a tremendous job taking care of our hospital workers and our elderly in our communities that, need some extra support and need to have people let them know that we're still thinking of them. We even had staff join in on giving back. Girl Scouts are all about making the world a better place. And once, the coronavirus pandemic hit, we had to make sure everyone was okay. But next we jumped into action saying, how can we help? So a couple weeks ago, our staff actually went to the food bank and helped out there. Really cool, with this pandemic, people are in their homes. It's a little harder to reach new members and reach out to the community and share with them that we have amazing virtual programs going on. And our CEM team put together these great kits that they're putting in free little libraries and dropping off at schools where kids are still picking up lunches and need that extra support. And we also, I should mention, have the Get Outdoors Challenge too that you can find online. And we are also really proud that we're collecting lots of cookies for first responders in the military. As you know, in the traditional dates of the cookie sale, we were collecting cookies for our military. And we are very, very happy to announce that we hit that goal and we donated the same amount of cookies again to our military, and they were just so excited. When I was emailing back and forth, I heard a lot of great feedback. But we do also still have some extra inventory, and our community has been so kind in helping make donations so we can drop off cookies for first responders. And our staff has really had a great time dropping them off at different hospitals and different community partners that are really making a difference to show that Girl Scouts is here for them. And I mentioned a little bit earlier, and I hope that everyone on this call has had a chance to check out our virtual programs. We know that girls, they still want to stay active, they still want to earn badges, they want to communicate with their friends. So our program team jumped into action and put together lots of different virtual programs. We have everything from live events that they can attend to on the computer and watch a recording later. We have also a lot of self-paced activities as well. And you can find those all at girlscoutstoday.org/virtual. And you can find content on there. We're constantly updating that. Here's a couple photos of what happened in the last month. Here's a lot of girls submissions. We had a baking class that I think a lot of parents appreciated, to have those fresh cookies ready to go after they logged off their work. The cybersecurity challenges have been really exciting. A lot of the girls were creating networks with yarn, and we had different science programs that really brought a lot of fun for girls, and at a time that it's hard for them. I'm sure everyone on here knows that kids aren't in school and they need that extra support. And so if you have not checked out our virtual programs, I highly recommend you do. With everything going on, it's hard to know exactly where to stay informed. So I wanted to provide a quick snapshot that our website is going to be a great place to go. On our homepage, we're always trying to keep that fresh and link out to the right pages to get all of the information you need. So girlscoutstoday.org is a good resource. On our website, we created a brand new virtual page, and that is that girlscoutstoday.org/virtual. We are always refreshing that with our virtual content and different activities. And then I would also highly recommend you follow us on Facebook. Check out the events tab, like that page, and just follow along. We also have an Instagram page that's very active as well. If that's maybe your social media app of choice, but I would highly suggest the Facebook page and the website. That's where you're going to see the most up-to-date information. Okay, so now I am very, very excited to hand it over to Sarah Stevens. Sarah is a writer, TEDx presenter, and entrepreneur. In 2016, she left a successful decade-long career in corporate healthcare in favor of work that was better aligned with her passion and purpose. After serving for 2 years as a freelance consultant to small businesses and startup nonprofits, Sarah founded The Beautiful Project, a storytelling collective that invites women back to their bodies and into the world where they belong with substance and with strength. So I'm very excited. Sarah is a friend of mine, and I'm excited for her to speak with you guys tonight. Thank you.
Thanks for the introduction, Mara. And hey, everybody. It's really good to be here with you tonight. Diane and crew asked me to speak a little bit about coping in the pandemic. And what's interesting for me about that is I haven't been through a pandemic before. So while often I talk about things that I feel pretty confident in my expertise about, I am not always sure about the way that I'm moving through this. And I'm sure none of us are, to be honest. I think that's maybe part one of the coping strategy, is to admit that this is difficult in ways that none of us probably ever imagined. But the thing that I really wanted to focus on tonight, I don't think we can talk about coping in a pandemic until we really acknowledge what it is that we're coping with. Yes, the virus, that's a reality. And yes, all sorts of other implications of that. But the thing we're really coping with is a pretty profound sense of loss. Not just the loss or that perceived threat to our safety, but also the loss of our routine, the loss of this illusion of control, the things that we can control in our lives. So there is this constant and persistent sense of loss. And anytime we deal with loss, we have to realize that there's going to be grief in that. So for me, the way that I've been coping most consistently is to acknowledge the grief of this experience and to understand that grief isn't just one emotion. Grief is this really complex experience, because I don't know about you, but I have some days that I sort of like this, that I sort of like the idea that I don't have a bunch of rules and expectations about where I'm supposed to be during the day. I like being invited to this other place that's a little calmer in my world. But then I have other days that stretch on, and I miss hugging my family. And I am heartbroken for my daughter, who's a senior in high school, who won't have any of those rituals. And so it's a really complex experience for me. One of the things I think we're taught often, particularly as women, is that it's our job to sort of have this positive frame around everything. And I think we sell ourselves short in the experience of grief when we do that. So what I want to share with you tonight is a story that I wrote. I actually wrote it probably 6 to 9 months ago. Actually, it was 6 months ago, when my daughter had golfed in a postseason golf tournament. The experience for me was incredible, because I got to watch her walk through the intensity of this experience. But I posted this story as a blog piece on the Beautiful Projects platform. The blog piece is called "When Sadness Takes Center Stage." So I want to share that story with you, and then wrap up just with an invitation about maybe how it is that we can experience some of this grief. So the story. I watched her from 100 yards away, tucked safely into the tree line, convinced anyone near me might actually be able to hear the sound of my heart as it beat out of my chest. She approached the ball perched on the tee in front of her and lined up her stance. I noticed her shoulders, at once both powerful and delicate, moving up and down with her breath at a pace that told me everything I needed to know about what was happening inside of her. She was afraid, and why wouldn't she be? She was surrounded by onlookers who had swarmed the tee box, and from where she stood, it was impossible to determine who was friend and who was foe. All she knew was that everyone was watching, waiting to determine if this unknown senior really did belong in postseason play. And as her club sliced through the unseasonably frigid October air, one single line echoed in my chest. She is the most courageous person that I know. I mean, I don't think that I could have done it. Let me rephrase, I am sure that I couldn't have done it. Exhibit A, there was not one single person there to watch me perform, yet there I was, hiding in the trees while my child teed off. Maybe it's just me, but a cowering woman in a puffy white vest who can't seem to get a deep breath is not exactly the picture of courage. So as the first swing landed with the telltale whack of a ball that will travel straight and low, I exhaled with relief. I thought, see, it's going to be a great day. She's going to be just fine. My girl has totally got this. This was a big day and a big tournament, likely the last of Alana's high school golf career. She was hoping to play well enough to put the finishing touches on a well-played season, which is exactly what she did until the 9th hole. It was a little par 3. For non-golfers, that means 3 swings to sink the ball in the hole. It was a little par 3 with a small ravine, maybe 30 yards off the tee box. What made this hole tricky, though, was not the ditch, but the fact that the green sat on top of a hill that sloped about 4 feet in all directions. If you overshot the green, the ball would just roll down the other side. And overshoot she did, so many times that I actually lost count. And by the time she got the ball to stay on the green, putting had become impossible because she had been blinded by this mix of mascara and tears filling her eyes. This was bad, and it was getting worse with every passing second. As I stood on that hill watching my baby girl disintegrate under the weight of her own disappointment, I forced myself to check the primal instinct, prompting me to run out on that course, throw her nearly grown body over my shoulder, and whisk her away to safety where I could heal her with my love and a Starbucks run. I knew there was no way to rescue her from this. The only way out was directly through the center of it, and I couldn't walk through it for her. So I left her there, fighting against her own fear, certain she would put the ball in the hole as soon as I stopped watching. As I made my way toward the clubhouse, I moved my attention forward to the next 9 holes. That was my job, right? Refocus, reframe, move forward. There was no time for wallowing. This kid had to get back out on that course, and the only way to get her there was to show no sign of weakness, no hint of sadness. I would rouse her resilience with my best "there's no crying in golf" speech, and she would rally for a peak performance on the back 9. But when she walked in the door to grab lunch and locked eyes with me, I knew that this kid was having none of my sadness shrinking story. Her face and those eyes, the humiliation I saw there, it was all just demanding to be felt right now. It was spilling into the space all around her, just like it spilled over the ridges of her red-rimmed eyes. It could not be contained, even if she tried, so she just didn't try. Instead, she crossed the space separating us, laid her head on my chest, and she sobbed, like this body-racking, ragged breath kind of weeping. And in a moment that was both powerful and delicate, surrounded by people who might judge such softness harshly, she became oblivious to their stares and showed me something I have never been able to find in myself. She showed me what it means to let sadness take center stage. And it, like her, was one of the most stunning things I've ever seen. Now, I want to be clear, this story does not come equipped with the predictable happy ending. She did not go back out and turn things around. She did not move it all aside and persevere. She ended her high school career with a season high score, but her score has nothing at all to do with the way that she finished that day. No, to know how she finished, you would have to know that she kept playing through her tears. You would have to know that she didn't move her sadness 1 second before it was done with her. You would have to know how she let it be big and ugly and messy and didn't care at all about who was watching. But once you know those things, it's easy to realize how her score had nothing to do with the way that she finished that day. Once you know those things, you know that my kid finished like a champ, and if she can do it, I know that we can too. So come along with me. Let's give sadness center stage and see what kind of freedom waits for us on the other side of feeling. You know, my daughter's experience on the golf course that day is not completely unlike what we're living through right now. We are living with a sense of loss. We don't know what the other side of this thing looks like. We don't know sometimes what tomorrow looks like. There's a ton of uncertainty. And so, in her modeling for me, what I was invited to was this idea that my sadness isn't going to consume me. There's a bottom to it. I think as women, we often fear a little bit of that. We fear that there is no bottom to our appetite, or there's no bottom to our ambition, or there's no bottom to our emotion. And over time, as I've done this work to heal myself, my relationship with myself, with my body, with food and with movement and all of these things, I've come to discover that I am really pretty trustworthy with myself. And I'm even trustworthy when it comes to grief. In the beginning weeks of the pandemic, the thing that I heard most often from women was this thing over and over that they would say, I need to just hold it all together. You know, we suddenly became homeschooling experts and experts in Zoom, and we figured out how to bake and all these things. And they kept saying, I'm just going to hold it all together. I'm going to hold it all together. I really think the solution of coping in this kind of uncertainty is to invite yourself to spill over instead. I think we can trust ourselves with that, knowing that once the emotion has run its way through us, that we'll be more free to be able to make space for love and belonging and connection until the next time when it's time to feel the fear and uncertainty. But I think that's the final message I want to leave you with. Coping in a pandemic is about, for me right now, it's about me learning to trust myself and with my emotions, allowing them to move the way that emotions do, knowing that they will move through us and make space for something new on the other side. I'm hopeful that that is helpful to you. I did want to leave you with one final practical tactic that I use from time to time when maybe when emotion becomes overwhelming. So it's called 5-4-3-2-1. It's actually a very commonly used tactic or methodology or therapeutic method. But what you do, it's intended to ground you to your lived experience, like what's actually going on right now. So for 5-4-3-2-1, you look around for 5 things you can see, 4 things you can hear, 3 things you can taste, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can touch. And by the end of that experience, the goal is now you're back in your body. You're reminded about what is happening in this present moment. And you're also reminded that whatever's happening in this present moment, you are surviving it. And that's the thing that I think we can learn from this. There are things that if you would have asked us 2 months ago if we could survive, we would have said, absolutely not. I know plenty of moms who are now homeschooling who would have said, there's no way, ever. So allow yourself to be surprised by yourself, move through your emotions, and invite yourself to take up space that way, in this way that we can learn to truly trust. All right, I think that's it for me. And I think from here we go to Michaela.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much, Sarah, for your words. I don't know about everybody else on this call, but I feel so calm right now after hearing you talk, Sarah. That was great. And I will definitely be using the 5-4-3-2-1. So my name is Michaela. I'm a Girl Experience Manager here at Girl Scouts. You might have seen me on a virtual program if you've done any of the Daisy Brownie programs, but now I think it's time for us to have a little bit of fun. All right, so one of the things that I have been doing throughout this whole quarantine is having fun with face masks and DIY face masks. So here are a couple recipes on your screen with some easy 2-ingredient face masks. So if you want to, you can go grab the ingredients right now. And I have already mixed up some face masks for me. I'm going to go ahead and we all definitely deserve some self-care. And as I'm putting this mask on, I am going to go ahead and pass it back over to Diane.
I don't have mine done yet, Michaela. I just started. So I don't know if I have my mask done.
Well, you know what? I can sing a song while you put your mask on. I can entertain everybody while you're putting it on.
Well, I'll tell you the mistake I made. I used steel oats instead of the other kind, so they're not sticking very well.
Makes it a little bit difficult. Once I get it on, I'll turn my camera back on and you can all make fun of me.
Yeah, let's look at you instead of me. I didn't quite get it down right.
I'm still working on it too, but here you go.
There you go.
There.
I love that. And watching Michaela do that is really fun, guys, because this is a lot of things we do with our girls in our virtual programming that we're doing. We're teaching them all these really fun things to do and a lot of new skills. Michaela, you're looking good, girl. You're looking good.
I hope so.
So oatmeal and honey, and it's really good for your skin. It's a great way for you to kind of liven up your skin, and so it's a great program. Yeah.
Great way to end the night.
Yeah, thanks, Michaela. And also, I would agree with everything Michaela just said. I hope you guys just sat back and got to enjoy listening to Sarah. She was pretty engaging, and I think I know in the Girl Scout world we are definitely living in that stress mode right now. And I actually agree with Michaela. I was so calm. Oh, are we still okay? Because I just noticed I lost something. Can you, oh, there we go.
We can still hear you, Diane. Okay.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. See, technology also stresses you out. But I hope you just enjoyed that having Sarah just talk to us a little bit about how we're all dealing with this COVID-19 and how it can be affecting us. I think she just did such an amazing job. And I was sitting here listening to her, and I would agree with Michaela. I just kind of got relaxed and just kind of really was taking it all in. So I hope you guys all learned a few things from that as well. So let me kind of switch gears a little bit now and tell you some other things that are happening with Girl Scouts. And by the way, I just looked at the list of people that are on tonight, and so many of you, I miss you, and I can't wait to see you again in person, and just appreciate you so much. We have troop leaders, and we have SUDs, and we have just all walks of life on our webinar right now. So thank you all so much for being here. So as you can see, this is our beautiful Camp Liberty. And I just want you to know, this is why it was really nice to listen to Sarah talk, is because we're trying to figure out about summer camp with this COVID-19. It's really taking a toll on us. I'm going to be honest with you. We have been working a lot with the American Camping Association. We've been working a lot with GSUSA, a lot with our local organizations that also have camping programs, really trying to make a decision on what's best for our girls and our organization. And gosh, you guys all know that safety is always first in Girl Scouts. It's something that makes us stand out above all other organizations, that safety is always our #1 priority for our girls. But I just want you to know, we sent a survey out to a lot of our registered girls that are registered to come to camp. And we had a wonderful feedback from our parents about what they hope we do in the future. But hopefully by next week, we can make this final decision on what we need to do with camp. But we really got to stay focused on the restrictions we have locally. We're really listening to what our governor has to say. So whatever the decision is made for camp, resident camp this summer, I just hope I can really count on you as longtime supporters of Girl Scouts and leaders who really understand this hard decision. That whatever decision is made, I hope you're there to support us and move forward. We really want to keep our girls engaged this summer, so we're trying to do everything we can. So just be aware, and hopefully by the beginning of next week, we'll be able to have a decision one way or another with resident camp out at Camp Liberty. And I know that's a big topic. A couple other things is that at this point, our office is still closed. But believe it or not, we're still working. Our staff is working from home. Zoom is our new way of work. I know a lot of you are still working from home. We're doing everything we can to still keep our girls engaged. We're still calling our leaders, trying to check in with everybody to make sure everybody's doing okay. Trying to do everything we can to support our Girl Scout leaders and our volunteers. Please know that if you have any questions, you can still call our office. We're there to answer the phone. So we're going to continue to be there. If you want to order merchandise, we're still mailing out merchandise if you need anything. So we're still working. Just because our offices are closed, it doesn't mean we're still we are still out doing everything we can to support our leaders. So continue to reach out to us if needed. Our fund development team has been extremely busy trying to work out ways in which we can get grants and funding from other resources to help support our Girl Scout program. So they are constantly writing grants and reaching out to our community and our individuals to see if they can help us financially. So that's a lot of work that's being done. And one of the biggest things we're doing, and we talked about it a little bit, is we're really, really working hard on our virtual programming. And believe it or not, we're having huge success. We are continuing to engage our girls through our virtual programming. We're hosting them for our girls. We have thousands of girls getting on. You just saw Michaela, she's doing amazing virtual programs. We have older girl virtual programs, as Mara mentioned earlier. So we're going to continue to keep our girls engaged, and we want to continue to keep you engaged. So we are going to also host adults programming just like tonight. So we are still going to have more of these webinars. We are also going to have a webinar next week to teach some of our leaders about bridging ceremonies. So if you want to know our schedule, please just get on our website, and everything's listed. But we're going to continue serving you the best we possibly can. And then you can also see that we have a few little fun challenges for our girls, a couple new patches. So those are some fun things for our girls. The virtual meetings, which we continue to do, and then we're going to continue doing the best we can to teach our girls everything we can about the outdoors and create our outdoor challenges. So one of the other hot items that we're really focusing on is renewal. More than ever, I think I've been in this organization, I've been in Girl Scouts for over 30 some years, and I've been with Eastern Iowa and Western Illinois since we started. I've been working for Girl Scouts for over 18 years. And I think this year is probably the most important year when it comes to renewal. We're really concerned about some of the challenges we might have this fall, getting into schools and trying to get girls to join Girl Scouts with all of the restrictions that are coming out. So I think I'm going to use the word beg. I really want to beg you as leaders to really get your girls renewed right now, April 1 through June 1. If you renew your girls, you will get, for $25, you'll get 20%, you'll get a $5 discount. And if you're Juliet's, you will get a $5 program credit. So we're trying to do some things to really encourage our parents to get their girls registered, but as troop leaders and service unit directors, if you can help us to get our girls renewed. We've got to change a lot of our work over the summer. We're looking at doing things differently. And when we know how many girls we have joining Girl Scouts and at every age level, it really makes a difference in our programming and our way of work. And it really helps your council lay out a plan that really connects with our girls. So if you can help us, I would so appreciate if you could just really reach out to your troop leaders, or if you're a troop leader, reach out to your parents and try to get your girls renewed as soon as possible. It'll really help us as we move forward with 2020 and 2021. And believe it or not, we already have 54 troops that are re-registering their girls and getting renewed for the year. We have troop 1178, 1530, 1949, 2446. I know some of you are on this call or on this webinar. 3854, troop 4444, and troop 9414 are just some of the troops that have already got their girls registered for next year. So anything you can do would be greatly appreciated. We're also putting some new plans together that we'll be sharing with you in the next week or so to encourage our girls to get re-registered and get our parents to make sure that they take the time to get their girls renewed. So with that, we're going to come to the end here. We're going to close up. But before we do, we really want to take a few minutes and show you this awesome little video that we put together. It's really cool. We put it on our Facebook post, so some of you may have already seen it, but we're going to make you watch it again. We had over 600 Facebook likes on it because it's really cool, but it is worth watching again. So, Claudia, if you want to go ahead and start that video, that would be awesome.
I'm gonna do my best here.
Not me, I'm not the
Oh,
video.
I know, I gotta get that up there. Yeah, I had this all figured out and
While Claudia's getting her video all sorted, you can see my face mask is starting to dry and work. So I hope if anyone participated, your face masks are doing the same. There were other questions about mask ingredients, and one of them was just cooked or uncooked oatmeal mixed with honey, and the other one is just plain yogurt mixed with honey. So try it all.
You're looking good, Michaela, you're looking good.
I think so too.
You
I'm
are.
going to start coming to all the calls this way.
all right, we're gonna show the video now.
Had an opportunity to see the video.
Hey, Diane,
Yep.
sorry to interrupt. This is Holly. Some people were not able to see the video. So Claudia, why don't you and I work afterward and we'll send the link in an email out later.
Hey, you can also head over to our gsCIWI Facebook page, and it's the very first post pinned at the top. You can check it out.
And trust me, it's worth seeing. It's a great video, and it's all our girls and everything they're doing to give back to our community. So with that, that's a great way to end this webinar. We appreciate you guys taking the time to be on tonight, and thank you to the staff that was presenting. Sarah, thank you so much for all of your words of wisdom as well. Again, we just appreciate all of you for everything you're doing. Please stay safe, and let you know that we're here for you, and we appreciate you being here for our girls, because now more than ever, we have to build those girls of courage, confidence, and character, because it's really important we make our world a better place. So thank you again, stay safe, and so appreciate you.